Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Thursday, November 3rd, 2016, and I'm Morgan Nicholes.
And I'm Jena McCall. Today, Tarleton State University will welcome 1,600 high school FFA members for the annual Tarleton State University Invitational Leadership Career Development event. Contest will begin at 1 and will last until 4. The contest will include events such as chapter conducting, ag advocacy, and ag issues forum, to name a few. With nearly 120 schools from across the state to attend this year's LCDEs, organizers predict it to be among the largest in the university's history. We interviewed Savannah Bowers to get more information on today's event.
Today we're hosting the largest leadership development event in the country here at Tarleton State University. We are having about 1,600 FFA members here all together from 200 different schools all across Texas, and they're going to be coming and convening in speaking events, team speaking events, and job interview events, things of that nature. The FFA is the largest youth organization in the entire country, and we come together for these contests to develop premier leadership, personal growth, and career success. And through these contests, we develop these things, and we are striving to better the lives of these students.
In local news, Tyler Lee Pittman and 3 others were arrested Tuesday during a buy bust on East Long Street after Erath County Sheriff deputies entered Pittman's home disguised as drug dealers to purchase marijuana. Sheriff Tommy Bryant said drug paraphernalia and marijuana were laying around the room where the suspects were seated. The signal was given to the deputies waiting outside, and they came in and made their arrest. Pittman is in Erath County Jail on a bond of $7,500 for charges of delivery of marijuana, possession of marijuana, a dangerous weapon, and a dangerous drug. Woody Rocky Rhodes, 31, and Alex Sean Hanks, 20, were arrested and both charged with possession of marijuana and possession of a dangerous drug, and their bonds were set at $1,500. Christopher Dale Mayberry, 29, was also arrested and charged with possession of marijuana. His bond is set at $500.
And now today's Texas, national, and international news from the Associated Press. In Austin, Texas, the 1993 murder conviction of a woman previously imprisoned for the West Texas arson death of her uncle was thrown out by the Texas Courts of Criminal Appeals in its opinion yesterday. The state's highest criminal court agreed with 68-year-old Sonia Casey that she did not commit the crime at the home she shared with her uncle in Fort Stockton. Texas authorities had originally testified that Casey poured gasoline on her uncle, leading to his death, but the state panel has now discredited the fire investigation, saying it should not have been ruled as arson. New evidence was found that cast doubt on previous lab tests that had found gasoline on the clothes worn by Casey's uncle. Casey, now living with her son in South Texas, was originally sentenced to 99 years in prison, but paroled in 1998 after just 5 years. Yesterday's ruling will allow Casey to pursue state compensation for wrongful imprisonment.
In national news, Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky made a strong statement in favor of President of the United States candidate Donald Trump. McConnell has warned repeatedly that Republicans could lose control of the Senate due to a handful of swing states. McConnell has not been eager to discuss the Republican candidate, but has had plenty to say about Hillary Clinton. Meanwhile, Clinton has traveled west to campaign. Clinton's efforts to sharpen the contrast with Trump has left her campaign shrouded in a dark, negative tone as she closes out her White House bid.
In a small town in southern Mexico, residents danced in the streets all night on Tuesday in costumes made with tiny mirrors and bells to mark the Day of the Dead. In Mexico, the Day of the Dead is traditionally celebrated by family members visiting the graves of dead relatives and setting up altars in their homes dedicated to those who have died. For more national and international news, we now turn to the AP News Minute.
This is AP News Minute. Chicago Cubs fans are celebrating their first championship in more than a century. Fans poured into the streets of Chicago after the Cubs beat the Cleveland Indians in Game 7 to win their first World Series since 1908. Authorities in Greenville, Mississippi are searching for the suspected arsonist who destroyed a historic black church. The fire destroyed about 80% of the building, and someone painted "Vote Trump" on it. One passenger train crashed into another in Karachi, Pakistan. More than a dozen people were killed. And in Mosul, Iraq, civilians are carrying white flags through the streets. Iraqi troops are trying to retake that city from Islamic State militants. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
In sports news, the Chicago Cubs are the new World Series champions. The Cubs ended a century-long drought by winning their first title since 1908. The Cubs beat the Cleveland Indians 8-7 in 10 innings in a Game 7 thriller last night. The Cubs came back in the series, winning 3 games straight after being down 3-1.
Today's weather forecast, brought to you by the National Weather Service, is mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of thunderstorms with a high of 75 degrees and an overnight low of 59. This has been a production of Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.
Watch us live on Apogee Channel 2.1 in the dorms at 12:30 weekdays. If you live off campus, tune in on Northland Cable Channel 9.
You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook, Twitter, and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all your latest local, state, national, and international news.
Today's broadcast was produced by Ariel Steele, Jace Fry, and Anthony Strother. Have a wonderful day, Texans.